My beloved brothers and sisters, when everything feels heavy, when you look around and see no light, when your heart whispers that there's no way out, that's when you must remember that Allah's power has no limits. What feels impossible to you is effortless for Him. You see, we humans are bound by time, by logic, by what seems possible. But Allah, the Lord of all worlds, is not bound by any of it. He says it can fakun, be, and it is. In just a moment, He can change an entire story, shift destinies, and turn pain into purpose. When you're standing in front of what feels like a dead end, that's not where your story stops. It's often where Allah begins His miracle. We forget that the one who split the sea for Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, who saved Prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, from the depths of the ocean, who made fire cool for Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, is the same Allah who watches over you today. The same mercy that surrounded them still surrounds you. The same power that rescued them is still alive. Nothing has changed. Only our faith weakens when the storm gets too strong. Sometimes Allah allows life to corner you, not to break you, but to show you how completely dependent you are on Him. He removes all the worldly supports, people, plans, and paths, so that you have no choice but to look up and say, Ya Allah, I can't, but you can. And that's the moment everything begins to shift. Because the instant you surrender, you open the door to divine intervention. Allah never leaves a heart that turns to Him sincerely. We often try to solve everything ourselves. We panic, we plan, we push, but nothing moves. And that's when Allah gently reminds us that it's not our strength that changes things, it's His will. When He decrees something for you, the entire universe aligns to make it happen. And when He withholds something, no power on earth can give it to you. Understanding this is freedom, the kind that brings peace even when nothing around you makes sense. There are times when you'll feel you've prayed and prayed, yet nothing has changed. But maybe Allah is already working behind the scenes in ways you can't yet see. Maybe He's protecting you from harm, preparing your heart, or aligning something far better than you imagine. Just because you can't see His hand doesn't mean He's not holding your life together. Every second of your waiting, every silent plea, He knows it all. There are moments in life when pain wraps around your heart so tightly that you start to wonder if Allah has forgotten you. You cry, you pray, and still nothing seems to change. But here's the truth. Your hardships are not signs that Allah has turned away from you. They're signs that He's paying close attention to you. When Allah loves someone, He refines them, not by making life easy, but by making their heart strong enough to handle the weight of His blessings. Every test you face is designed to bring you closer to Him, to awaken something deep within you that comfort never could. When you're tested, it doesn't mean you're being punished. It means you've been chosen. Think about it. Allah tests those He loves most. The prophets, peace be upon them, endured the hardest of trials, not because they were sinful, but because they were special. They carried the strength to show others what faith looks like under pressure. Their stories weren't meant to break your spirit, but to remind you that even in darkness, light exists for those who keep walking toward Allah. Sometimes your pain is a conversation between your soul and your Creator. When the world grows silent and no one seems to understand what you're going through, that's when Allah listens the closest. He's calling you to turn away from people and return to Him, not in anger, but in love. Because when He removes worldly comforts, He's actually giving you something far greater, the peace that comes only from knowing Him deeply. You begin to realize that losing things, people, or opportunities isn't loss at all. It's redirection. Allah is removing what was never meant to stay and replacing it with what will truly last. You see, if life was always smooth, you'd never call upon Allah the way you do now. You'd never cry to Him at night, never feel that ache that leads to sincere dua. That's why He tests you, not to hurt you, but to purify your heart, to polish your soul until it reflects light again. He wants to remind you that your strength doesn't come from the world, it comes from Him. And when you finally realize that, you stop fearing trials because you start to see them as messages, gentle or sometimes painful reminders that you're still being shaped, still being loved. There are times in life when doors slam shut in front of you. A dream you held on to suddenly fades. A relationship you trusted breaks apart. An opportunity you prayed for just doesn't happen. In those moments, you feel abandoned, lost, and confused. You question everything. Why would Allah let this happen? Why did He close this door when I was so sure it was right for me? But what you don't see is that behind every closed door, there's a hidden blessing waiting to unfold. Allah doesn't shut something in your face to punish you. He does it to protect you or to prepare you for something far greater than what you're asking for. We see only the surface, but Allah sees the depth. You might be asking for something that looks beautiful now, not knowing that it could hurt you in the long run. You might be chasing a dream that could lead you away from Him, or holding on to someone who's not meant to walk your path. And because Allah loves you more than you can ever understand, He closes the door before it destroys you. What feels like rejection is often divine protection. What feels like delay is preparation. Allah knows what your heart wants, but He also knows what your soul needs. Sometimes the no you receive is actually a not yet, because you're not ready for it, or because what's meant for you is still being shaped. Think about how many times in your life you prayed for something that didn't work out, and later you thanked Allah for saving you from it. At that time it felt like a loss, but now you see it was mercy. That's the wisdom of Allah. He doesn't take anything from you without the intention of giving you something better. You just have to trust the process even when it doesn't make sense. And yes, it's hard to wait. It's painful to accept when your heart doesn't understand. But sometimes Allah teaches you through emptiness, through silence, through things not working out. Because in that stillness you grow, you stop chasing what isn't for you and start recognizing what truly is. You learn to rely not on plans or people, but on the one who controls them all. You begin to see that every closed door was a form of love, a way for Allah to redirect you towards something that will never break your heart the way this world does. So when you find yourself standing before a door that won't open, don't cry in despair. Stand there with faith and say, Ya Allah, I trust that whatever is behind this door is either not for me or not for me yet. Because if Allah closed it, He'll open another one that leads not just to what you want, but to what will heal you.